Hello everyone, welcome again to Ayaba Creations. Today we are going to learn how to make this beautiful kids lock beaded clutch right here. If it's something you'd love to learn how to make, stay tuned. This is the easiest method so far, so I'm going to teach you how to make it. Alright, you can also visit our store on Instagram to purchase these items. On this channel, we learn how to make simple beaded crafts. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share. Okay, so you can also contact the number on your screen if you want to purchase branded tags for your bags. We will need one pack of 8mm beads, 0.5 fishing line, and then our case lock clutch, and then a pair of scissors for this project. Let's begin. So first you are going to open the lock like this. Then you take catch a beading thread and pass it through the second hole, you see, and then also through the first hole. So the two thread will align like this. Okay. Okay, so when it's done like this, what you do next is to make sure that the beading thread in your left hand is a bit longer than the one on your right hand. Okay, so then you're going to pick one bead. Okay, then you pass it through the beading thread in your left hand. Then you are going to pass that same beading thread through the next hole. So that will be the second hole. Okay, so you will get something like this. Then what you are going to do is turn the lock upside down this way. So it's going to go upside down. So like this. Then you're going to pass the beading thread through the third hole. Okay, the same beading thread that you pass the bead through is what you are going to do. So the other one, you are going to leave it, you're not going to touch it. Then you pick one bead, pass it through the beading thread like this. Then what you are going to do next is to pass that same thread through the next hole. So that will be the fourth hole. Okay, so when you go through the fourth hole like this, then you're going to turn the lock again upside down. Then you pass the beading thread through the next hole, that will be the fifth hole. So that's what you are going to do to begin. So like this, then you turn it upside down again. Then what you will do next is to pick one bead. So when you take the bead, then you pass the beading thread through the next hole. Okay, so through the next hole, this hole right here, then you pull like this, then you turn your clutch upside down, then pass the beading thread through the next hole. Okay, so it's going through the next hole, then you pull. After that, you turn it up again, then you pick one bead. So when you pick the bead like this, then that bead you are going to, so as you can see, pass it through the fishing line, then you are going to pass the beading thread through the next hole. So that's what you are going to be repeating for this very first round. Okay, so as you can see, we are done with the first one. Now to go again, we are going to pass that same beading thread through the second hole. So as in, we are done with the first round, so we are going to pass it through again. What you are going to do now is to fill the spaces. Okay, so you pick one bead again like this, pass the bead through this beading thread, then you're going to pass the beading thread through the next hole. Okay, so when it goes through the next hole like this, it would fill that space. Then when you turn it upside down, you are going to pass the beading thread through the next hole. So it's just like you are just going back again, but this time around you are filling the spaces. Then you will pick one bead again, pass it through the beading thread, and you pass the beading thread through the next hole. So just like this. Then when you turn it upside down again, you're going to pass the beading thread through the next hole. So I'm turning it upside down, and then the beading thread is going to go through the next hole. Then I pull out. Then when I turn it this way, what I'm going to do here is to pick one bead and then pass it through the beading thread, pass the beading thread through it. Then after that, I'm going to pass the beading thread also through the next hole. Okay, basically that is what you are going to be doing here. Alright, so at this point we have both beading thread pointing upwards. So as you can see, we've beaded through all the holes. What you're going to do now is the last bead, you're going to pass the beading thread in your left hand through that bead, and also the beading thread in your right hand through that bead as well. So it's going to cross like this. Then what is left to do is just rings of 4 throughout. So first you're going to pick 3 beads, so 1, 2, 3. Then you cross with a third bead. Next, you pass the beading thread in your right hand through the next bead. Then you add 2 beads, so 1, 2. Then you cross with the second bead. Okay. Then again, you pass the beading thread in your right hand through the next bead once again. And when you do that, you are going to add 2 beads and cross with the second bead, also to give us a ring of 4 beads. So basically here is just rings of 4 you are going to continue to do till you get to the end. Pretty easy, right? Okay, so you are going again, passing the beading thread in our right hand through the next bead. Then you are going to add 2 beads, cross with the second one to give a ring of 4 beads. Then we are going again, pass the beading thread through the next bead, add 2 beads, cross with the second bead to give a ring of 4 beads. So that's what you'll be doing. You keep repeating this process till you get to the last end. So here we beaded the rest of camera. Okay, so we are continuing from this place. Okay, so added 2, crossed with the second one to give a ring of 4 beads. Alright, so we are at the last bead here. We are going to pass the beading thread in our right hand through the last bead, and then we are going to add 2 beads to the beading thread in our right hand. So like this beading thread. Then we'll pick the second one and cross with the other beading thread like this, okay, to give us the final ring of 4. And that's the same thing you're going to keep repeating. You start again by adding 3 beads, so 1 2 3. Then you will cross with the third bead to give a ring of 4 beads, okay. So when you get this, then next you are going to pass the beading thread through the next bead. Then you are going to add 2 beads, okay. When you add 2 beads, then you cross with the second bead to give a ring of 4 beads. So you will keep repeating this process till you get to the end once again. So here we are adding our 2 beads, so 1 2, as you can see, we crossed with the second to give a ring of 4 beads, okay, like this. Then we are going in again, passing the beading thread through the next bead. Then we are going to add 2 beads, so 1 2 beads in all. And what we are going to do next is pass the beading thread through the second bead, so we are crossing with the second bead like this, okay. So we keep repeating the process, okay. So we are almost done here. Likewise, adding 2, crossing with the second to give a ring of 4 beads, passing the beading thread in your right hand through the next bead. And you are going to add 2, so 1 2, cross with the second bead to give a ring of 4 beads. Then you are going again, passing it through the next bead. But this bead is also the last bead here, so what you are going to do is pass 2 beads through the beading thread in our left hand, so like this, and then we are going to cross with the second to give us a ring of 4 beads. So it's going to look like this, okay. So as you can see, we've started making the bag and it is going to turn out beautifully, okay. So we are starting afresh again. We are adding 3. Then what you are going to do is cross with a third bead to give a ring of 4 beads. Then you are going to pass the beading thread through the next bead, like as you can see. Then you add 2 beads, cross with the second bead to give a ring of 4 beads. Then you keep repeating the process. Alright, so counting here 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12. So this side is 12. Alright, so you are going to repeat the same thing here, okay. So you should get something like this in the end. So 12 here, 12 here, 12 here, 12 here, okay. So here you are going to count 6 from the end, so 1 2 3 4 5 6, so like that. And what you are going to do is to pass the beading thread through the 6th bead and then the 7th bead as well. So the 7th bead. Okay, then what you are going to do next is add 2 beads and cross with the 2nd bead to give a ring of 4 beads. And next, what you are going to do is to pass the beading thread in your right hand through the next bead. Then you are going to add 2, so 1, 2, cross with the 2nd to give a ring of 4 beads. Then you pass the beading thread in your right hand also through the next bead. Then you add 2, so 1, 2, cross with the 2nd bead to give a ring of 4 beads, and you repeat till you get to the end. Okay, so we are at the end now. Here we are going to add 3 beads, so but first you will put 2 on each side of the beading thread like I'm doing. Then you pick the 3rd one and cross. Okay, so we are crossing. Then you are going to do the same thing again. You are going to pick 3 beads, so put 2, 1 on each side of the beading thread. Then you cross with the 3rd one like this. Now when you finish this process, the beading thread in your right hand, you are going to pass it through this bead right here. So the beading thread in your right hand is going through that bead here. Okay, so we are passing it through this bead, like just like this. So it's going to join the other side. Then what you are going to do now is pick 2. So you're going to pick 2 beads now and cross with the 2nd bead to give a ring of 4 beads. So the right beading thread was going through that bead there. So you're picking 2 beads like this, cross with the 2nd bead, then you give a ring of 4 beads. Okay, so this is how it's going to look like. Then next you're going to pass the beading thread through the next bead here. Then you are going to pick 2 beads in all, so 1, 2, and what you are going to do is cross with the 2nd bead to give a ring of 4 beads. So you also continue till you get to the 6th bead. Alright, so this is how it's going to look like when you are done with this stage. So upon reaching the 6th bead, what you are going to do is pass the beading thread through this 6th bead here, and then also through the 7th bead right here. Okay, then what you are going to do is pick 1 bead and cross with the same bead. Okay, so you're going to get something like this in the end, and this will help us to form the base of the bag so that we can close the bag. Okay, so next you're going to pass the beading thread through the next bead. So the beading thread is going through the next bead right here. Then what you will do is pick 2 beads, so 1, 2, cross with the second bead to give a ring of 4 beads. Alright, so you are going to continue by passing the beading thread through the next bead here, so this bead right here, and then you are going to add 2 beads, so 1, 2, cross with the second bead, pass the beading thread through the next bead here, add 2 beads, cross with the second bead to give a ring of 4 beads. So you are going to continue to repeat this process like that till you get to this place. So we are almost done. So as you can see, the beads have started forming beautifully. So here too, you're going to pass the beading thread through the next bead and also through this bead right here, so 2 beads in all. And then what we are going to do is add just 1 bead, so 1, and we are going to cross with that same bead. Okay, we are crossing. Alright, so it's going to become something like this. Next, you are going to pass the beading thread through the next bead. Then you add 2 beads, cross with the second bead to give a ring of 4 beads. Okay, so basically is what you are going to be doing until you get to the end. So when you count here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So here too, it's also going to be 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Alright, so okay, so to end, we are going to pass the beading thread through this bead here and also through this bead right here. And you're going to pick 1 bead and cross with that same bead. Remember that we counted 7 beads from the end, so you're going to pass the beading thread through the 7th bead and then the 6th bead as well. So it's going through the 6th bead too. Then what you are going to do now is to pick 1 bead and cross with, so 4, 5, 6, 7, as you can see. Alright, so you're going to pick 1 bead, cross with that bead, yeah, to give a ring of 4 beads. So it's going to be something like this. Then you pass the beading thread in your right hand through this bead and the beading thread in your left hand also through this bead. So it's going that way. We are closing it. So then you'll pick 1 bead, cross with the same bead, and you're going to pass the beading thread through the next bead again. So this one is going here and this one is also going through here like this. Then you pick 1 bead and cross with that same bead. So we are crossing. Okay, So when you are done with here, what you are going to do is pass the beading thread through the next bead. This time you are going to add 2 beads. Okay, so you add 2 beads, then you cross with the second bead to give a ring of 4. Then you pass the beading thread through the next bead again. Okay, then you are going to add 2 beads, so 1, 2, and cross with the second bead to give a ring of 4. Okay, then you're going to pass the beading thread through the next bead here, and the one in your right hand, the beading thread in your right hand, you're going to pass it through the last bead. That will be the 6th bead at the side. So then what you are going to do is take 1 bead and cross with that same bead. So if you get something like this, then you're going to pass the beading thread through this bead right here. Okay, and then the other beading thread through this bead right here. You pull out, pick 1 bead, and then you cross with that same bead. Okay, then you are going in again, passing through this bead and also this bead here, and you pick 1 bead and cross with that same bead. Here we are ending, so it's going to go through this bead right here. Okay, and then also the other beading thread through the other bead at that side. Okay, so like this, then you're going to cross. Okay, so we are crossing. Alright, so that's it, we are done. But you can also send the beading thread, so you're going to pass the beading thread through these beads here to meet at a particular point so that we can tie a knot. Okay, so when you tie the knot, you can pass the excess thread through the rest of the beads, and then you can cut the excess thread off. What is left to do is this side right here. Okay, so this side too is also easy. You're just going to cut a long beading thread, then you're going to pass the beading thread through this bead here. Okay, so it's going through one of the champagne beads and then also the blue bead. Okay, so 2 beads in all. Then what you are going to do is pick 2 beads. So when you pick 2 beads, you're going to pass the beading thread through those 2 beads, cross with the second bead to give a ring of 4 beads. Okay, so it should be something like this. Then what you're going to do next is to pass the beading thread through the next champagne bead here, and then also through the next blue bead here. Then you would pick 1 bead, cross with that bead. Okay, so like this to give a ring of 4 beads. Then you're going to pass the beading thread in your left hand through this bead here. Okay, then you're going to pick 2 beads, so 1, 2, and cross with the second bead like this. Okay, alright, then what you are going to do next is to pass the beading thread through this bead here and then also through this bead. Okay, so then you add 1 bead and cross with that same bead. Then we are going in again. We're going to pass the beading thread in our right hand through this bead right here. Then what we are going to do next is to pick 2 beads, so 2. Okay, cross with the second bead to give a ring of 4 beads. Right, so it's going through to give a ring of 4 beads. And what you are going to do is pass the beading thread through this bead right here and also through this bead right here. Okay, then what you are going to do is cross with just 1 bead. Pick 1 bead and cross with that bead to give a ring of 4 beads. Then you pass the beading thread through this bead here, add 2 beads, so 1, 2, then cross. Okay, so that's what you are going to be doing for both sides, so you get to the last but 1 bead at the top. Yeah, we are not going to go through we are not going to bead through the last bead there, so we are going to leave that one. Okay, so it's just the last but one bead you are beading through, then we are done. Okay, so there's the last but one bead, so we are going through here, this bead right here. So this will also meet the other beading thread at this side, then we will then tie a knot. Okay, so tie a knot beautifully. Alright, so you're going to repeat the same thing at this side. Okay, then when you are done, you just close, and that is it. You are done with your bag. Alright, thank you for watching. See you in our next video. Bye.